welcome to the Conscious Conversations podcast. My name is Marieke and I'm an energy intuitive, an alchemist, a spiritual coach and teacher, as well as a quantum touch practitioner, Reiki practitioner, and ICU teacher for children. I'm opening this podcast to share with you our innate ability to perceive energy, to remember our alchemist within, as well as our healer. So in today's episode, I would like to speak about perceiving energy, our soul's journey, as well as the importance of our breath, heart energy, and grounding with the earth. So starting with perceiving energy, everyone has this ability to feel energy, to tune in, and to receive information, wisdom from the energy outside of us as well as within us. So through our senses, we can get in touch with our own soul's journey, as well as what other people, how we could show up for other people. We can start to tune into the environment within and outside of us. And the easiest way to start to expand your senses and be able to perceive energy is through the breath, through activating our heart energy, as well as activating and practicing our grounding technique with the earth. So I would like to share a little mini practice with you here that is very easy to follow, and we just start to breathe and activate our breath. We start to rise these beautiful waves of nutrition, of oxygen through our entire body by sending that breath all the way to your crown, and then on the out breath, releasing that breath down your spine, your nervous system, and out of your spine. So by activating our breath throughout our entire physical body, we start to activate our life force energy. We start to get in touch with the more subtle movements of energy within our body, as well as any energy that does not serve us, any tension, any energy accumulation has the chance to then to start to move through us with our breath by setting our intention that we want to align with our own energy body. We want to calibrate it. We want to release any energy that doesn't serve us. So by activating your breath, your senses will already start to sharpen. And then by feeling into your hands, into the palms of your hands, and simultaneously feeling into your chest, as well as tuning into the senses of your hearing, your smell, as well as your taste, we can start to bring all of the senses together and start to perceive energy. So when we touch something, we can receive an energetic imprint through our hands, and we feel that energetic imprint coming into our chest. And with our mind's eye, we can start to interpret it, what we feel, what we notice, what quality of energy does this have. And we can start to move with this energy. So if we, for example, touch a person and we touch them on their back body, on their spine, within our hands, we feel their energy. As well as within our chest, we feel their energy frequency. And simultaneously, we feel our own frequency as well. So it becomes really important that we know our own energy body, so that when we touch something, when we hear something, we smell, we taste, we can integrate, we can perceive this energy and know what is ours and what is the energy around us that we can then start to move, alchemize, and work with. So we become a lot more conscious when we are in touch with our senses, because we receive so much information simultaneously. And when we are connected to our breath, connected to our heart energy, and we are grounded, then we can perceive this energy and start to work with it. We can use it for the benefits of our own energy system. We can use it for the benefiting other people's energy system, or animals, even plants, spaces. And by becoming really aware and conscious of energy moving through us, as well as through your space, you can start to reclaim your power. And you can start to move this energy at any given time by being connected to your breath, by being connected to your heart energy, as well as by being connected to the earth. And we start to breathe in such a way where we rise our breath to our crown and back to the earth, so that we feel and we can constantly adjust any action that we might be called to take, but also slowing down and creating an inner stillness within our own core energy, wherefore we can start to move energy within us as well as around us. And to get in touch with the energy in your heart space, it's another activation. So the first activation is our breath. Then we start to activate our heart energy. And the easiest way to activate our heart energy, I find, is by breathing into your heart space. Breathing all around your heart, your physical muscle of your heart, as if your breath can move around in every direction, almost like your breath can start to gently hug your physical heart. And by circulating your breath around your heart space, we can acknowledge how your heart feels. And we can acknowledge any sadness that might lie within that space, any pain, any suffering that might have been experienced by your heart. We can start to breathe into that space and start to really energetically hold our heart and start to heal the aspects of our heart that need more attention, that would like to receive more self-love, more care. And by breathing and circulating our breath around our heart space, we can then start to look inside of our heart. So we can close our eyes and we can look inside of our heart space and see the light of our heart, the frequency of our heart. And as soon as we start to see the frequency, the light of our heart, and it can be any color, there's no right or wrong here. And by breathing into that light, we can then visualize that light of our heart space expanding in every direction. And we can connect our breath, our intention, in such a way that our visualization becomes a physical sensation. You might start to notice that your back body relaxes, that your nervous system, your spine gently unwinds and lets go of the tension that might have been carried with you. And by breathing into your heart space, we can also acknowledge our inner child, as well as any experience that your inner child might have experienced this lifetime that gave imbalances to your energy system. And that can be from emotional, mental, physical, traumatic experiences. And our cell memory remembers everything from the beginning of time, even into other past lifetimes. And by starting to breathe and connect with your light, the light within your heart, as well as the energy, the light within your entire physical body, all the way into your auric field. When we start to connect with that light, we have the ability to expand it, to release energy, to align with our soul's journey, as well as to show up within life in a very anchored and comfortable way. So give it a try over the coming days to start to gently breathe and activate your breath, and breathe in such a way that your breath is very soft and gentle, as if you're breathing into feathers or clouds or water. Really allowing that softness of your breath to move throughout your entire physical body, moving along your heart space, visualizing the beautiful white light of your heart expanding in every direction, and expanding it so far that it moves throughout your entire chest and all the way into your auric field. And as soon as you start to feel that your breath connects really nicely with your heart space, then you can start to allow that breath to sink further into the earth. So letting your breath rise, and then on the out breath, letting your breath sink down your spine, out of your tailbone, as well as down your hips, your legs, your feet, and back into the earth. And as we breathe this beautiful breath, and we get in touch with the wave of our breath, the rising and the falling of this beautiful life force energy that moves through you, we can start to sink that breath connected to our intention all the way down into the earth. And you can start to really feel and get a sensation of the planet, the earth below, and feel into the core of the earth. And see if you can find that space within the core of the earth where you feel the magnetic forces are the strongest. Or you might even want to visualize the lava flow in the core of the earth. And see if you can anchor your light body, your energy, all the way to the core, the center of this planet. And you will notice that you might shift a little bit. You might notice that your hips, your lower body becomes a little bit heavier, a little bit more anchored. And just notice how the bottom of your feet connect with the floor, with the earth. And continue to circulate these beautiful breaths of the rising and sinking that breath down into the earth. And do this for 5 to 10 breaths, for 5 to 10 minutes. It depends on how much energy we have circulating in our body. It depends how often we have to start to ground. And sometimes it might be 50 to 100 times a day. And over time, your body starts to get used to it. And it might even remind you when you need some extra grounding, when you're not as stable, not as anchored within your entire physical form and connected to the earth. And once you start to develop this beautiful grounding practice where we just allow our consciousness, our breath, to sink down into the earth, acknowledging the earth's presence and even the relationship that we have with this planet. What is this planet bringing you and nourishing and offering to you, to your existence here on this planet? As well as how can we show up and offer our gratitude in return for this experience of life. So unless we find our activated breath, we find our activated heart, we find our grounding with this planet, that's the moment where we start to feel a bit more centered, and we can start to rise that energy throughout our entire physical form, all the way into our connection with our cosmic self, with our higher self, with spirit, with source energy. And we can start to work with and call in these energies that lie beyond our physical form. But I always find it's important to have a foundation that gives you strength and stability. And through the years, working with animals, working with people, working just with the energy and spaces and of the land, I've noticed it always comes down to the 3 keys of breath, activation, heart, and grounding. And when we can start to anchor our energy system in such an extent that we are stable, and when an energy comes at us or we notice an energy arising within us, we can use our breath. We can infuse it with the light, the magnetic force field of our heart. We can ground ourselves to process this energy all the way back into the earth, or even start to give the energy to the ether around us. And we start to notice that communicating with energy, perceiving energy, and releasing, integrating, it all becomes easier over time and with practice. And I always say I never teach anything. I'm just sharing here what you already know within yourself. So by having these conversations, we are activating our innate ability to perceive energy, to heal ourselves, and to offer healing to other people, animals, plants around us as well. And it really comes back down to creating a coherent heart and activating your breath. And if we look into what is the essence of breath? Because breath is life. Without our breath, we would not have life. We would technically be laying on the floor. So seeing your breath as something that gives you life and that rises you up, that gives you life force energy, and it even by noticing how your breath holds your physical body up, just as if your breath can come out of your crown and even lift you up a little bit further. And see in the coming days if you can move with your breath as you move. So moving on your breath, you might start to notice that your breath is actually the one lifting up your body. So if you bend forward and you want to come back up, see if you can do it with your breath connected to your muscles, over only activating the strength of your bones and muscles. So noticing how much your breath can give you that lighter sensation within life. And also notice how often that we hold our breath when something happens, an event happens, we hold our breath. And when we hold our breath, we create tension within our physical muscles, within our soft tissue, and we kind of lock in that frequency. So with our breath, we can unlock and we can move any energy around. And there's, of course, much more to it. And I will be sharing in the next episodes a lot more about energy healing, about alchemy, about our soul's journey and our innate ability to move with energy and to even manifest anything that we would like to see in physical form. As long as it comes from a soul's and a heart desire, we can manifest anything in this physical plane. But we have to align ourselves first. So stay tuned for the next episodes. It's truly a pleasure to share this information with you and have these conscious conversations where we remember our innate ability to alchemize. Blessings of love and light to all of you. Take really good care and see you in the next episode.